At Communication Design at Otago Polytechnic, we encourage students to learn through real-world projects. Students learn through doing to develop a range of personal and professional skills alongside their design skills. It helps the students into work after they graduate, and it helps a lot of local people who benefit through a wide range of tangible design and community outcomes. This is the story of 3 Māori students and their personal and professional growth. Over the last 3 years, they've worked together on a range of design projects with and for Māori and Pacific Island communities in Dunedin. Here's their story.
Kia ora. My name's Thomas Tufaiti Henry. I come from Cook Island in Māori descent. I am one of 3 members of the Nexus crew.
Kia ora, my name is Madison Vu, Kaitahu, Ngāti Mamoe, Cook Island Māori. I came to Polytech from Christchurch, where I used to study at NATCO. And then the Christchurch earthquake happened in February 2011. Didn't go so well, ended up here. And now I'm just pursuing design, my creative side, and it's fun.
What up, my name's Vinny Egan. I'm ko Aotearoa te waka, ko turi te tangata, ko taranaki te maunga. I'm from Ngārua Hini and Aotearoa, and I'm studying design communication at the Otago Polytechnic, and I'm going to be sharing a few of the design projects myself and the Nexus crew have been working on lately.
We've identified 3 successful practices. We encourage students to keep culture at the centre of their education. We place emphasis on working together collaboratively. And we acknowledge the importance of these students' own identity. Here are 3 projects that show how these ideas work in practice.
The first project started in 2011. I was asked by one of my lecturers to work with the Puaka Matariki Sterngaropu on a new poster design for the 2011 festival.
We chose Puaka Matariki as because not many people in the public arena were talking about it, but also we felt it was one of the true events or festivals that was apolitical. So and we thought that was really positive. Here at Polytech, I was like, well, how can we look at building a relationship where we could get some students involved, they give us some fresh ideas, a fresh take, a sort of maybe even a modern take of Puaka Matariki. I thought it was an opportunity where we could get young people connecting with Puaka Matariki, but also tying to ancient and tying to heritage.
I made some initial drawings and then took them to Linda at Newsflash, and she suggested that I redraw them in Illustrator, a program that was completely new to me. I was invited to take the vectored illustrations to the City Council and sit before a panel of people and show them my work. I had to talk about my ideas, and sometimes I even had to defend them and explain them in further detail. They were convinced and they liked it. In working on this project, I learned heaps, and I have made new poster designs for Puaka Matariki the years to follow. The designs in 2011 and 2012 were quite flat. We wanted a new image that showed the growth of the festival, so it felt appropriate to add a new dimension to the image. In 2013, my character of Ranginui became 3-dimensional. This was a chance to test out some new drawing techniques around light theory. Here's the result.
What was the design meant to do? It was meant to communicate in 1 year about a slice of time about how we might see Puaka Matariki.
So second year for myself was a little different. I started to hang out with Vin and Tommy a lot more, and we began to bounce ideas off one another. We were approached by our lecturer to work on a big project for the Otago Early Childhood and Schools Māori and Pacific Island Festival, which is mainly referred to as the Polyfest. This was a really big project, but it's where we learned how to work together and where our identity as a design collective was born, Nexus Dimension. Polyfest needed new banners as a central element on the middle of the stage behind the performers, and they asked us to work with 2 artists, Tere Moera and Here Mahina Eketone. So they provided us with some initial sketches, and we next leveled the design from there by bringing it into the digital dimension. We learned so much. Our digital skills in time management, working in shifts, and as a team increased tenfold.
What was important to me was that it was connections. I just always loved that it was happening. I loved that the energy was coming through, that people were having to work together and trying to come up with something that everyone was, the team was satisfied with.
Raitu Cassidy from the Polyfest committee helped analyse our progress and helped to correct any minor details that needed to be refined. The final banners were like 8 meters tall, so we learned pretty quickly how to deal with the finest details. We worked through a range of colour palettes, but felt that we should stick with the blues as they held the essence of the Pacific Ocean and all the islands held within.
I think for me, the banners just illustrate the diversity, not just in the creation of the banners or the design. There's so many different elements in that, and I thought at one point, you know, even if you took a little corner of a banner and blew it up and made that something, and you know, there's just so many amazing elements in there. There's so much in there. It's so rich and diverse. But you see, that is our festival.
The Poho project was a client project for the Polytechnic.
It was a chance for us to research a little bit more into local Māori history and traditional local art, like the dope rock art here in Otago. Our client was Justine Camp, who works for Kaitohutohu. They wanted some Māori designs to go on the side of the Poho building that represented the essence of the building and the kaitahu that reside here.
I work for the Office of the Kaitohutohu, and our job is to ensure that tikanga, treaty and Māori knowledge is becoming a part of this institution. I wanted a uniquely kaitahu stamped place. Poho people keep saying let's put carvings on it, and that won't sort of scream kaitahu unless we use someone like James York, who's a kaitahu carver and has a distinct style. You think kaitahu, you think food, pounamu, and of course if you go up the coast you see rock art and things like that.
The design tells us the story of Poho and the chief of the land and the history with it. We did some extensive research into Māori rock art and made a vast amount of prototypes. From here we chose the most relevant elements and narrowed down our prototypes down to 3. Chose the best and then illustrated them on a computer over several days and nights. It was ideal when we received feedback from Justine at a meeting and Stu McDonald, a visiting tāmoko artist, Richard Kiribel, Tama, and local artist Simon Khan. They suggested adding a rock art symbol that represented the Haas Eagle. We also introduced more elements that connected the waka to talk about the fact that this land used to be a lake before it was reclaimed and became Logan Park.
I think the end product you've done really well in terms of you've captured the history, you probably know more about it than I actually do. I liked the waka, I liked that you had that area. Everybody who's looked at it has said Māori Transformer. So we've had exceptional feedback about the piece. And as Stu said, it's Ngaitahu contemporary art, and I guess the powers that be and the Māori staff here are saying, are we ready for that to be our first statement? Or do we need to start with some history first?
For many Māori students, when they come to tertiary education, one of their key focuses is around working in their own communities. They want to know that they can make a difference in some way. So I think for us, offering Māori students an opportunity to work within communities but also within kaupapa Māori is about fostering that. It's about fostering, like, hey, when you become qualified, when you get out there and be the man, then you're actually part of something bigger, you're part of a community, you have a role and you have a responsibility. As a tertiary institution, if we're going to live by these so-called principles that we have, and one of them is to help Māori students live as Māori, we have to also take on responsibility for some Māori students. We have to show them in a positive way, what does living Māori look like in 2013? How do we understand design that is contemporary, but its roots are within heritage, its roots are within cultural identity?
This emerging practice requires us to work together to develop shared languages and practices. Māori students, Māori staff at the Polytechnic, Māori communities, and the lecturing staff at the School of Design. We encourage you to discover your own successful practices.
For us, it's been about working together, working alongside our communities and enjoying our own identities.